When people think of AI in healthcare, they picture a chatbot that gives generic advice, or an app that reminds you to take your medication, maybe a tool to help schedule appointments faster. That's what most of us think AI is. A smart assistant, helpful but limited. And most healthcare professionals today would agree that AI isn't replacing anyone anytime soon, right? But AI isn't standing still. What we're seeing now, especially with large language models like ChatGPT, is just the beginning. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is when machines are trained to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, understanding language, recognizing patterns, making predictions. And then there is something called AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. Now, that's different. AGI isn't trained to do one task. It can learn any task a human can. It can reason, adapt, solve new problems in real time. It's not just a tool, it's a digital mind. Now, imagine AGI trained in medicine, a digital doctor who knows every drug, every trial, every nuance of care, trained once, then ready forever. And the signs are already here in the tools we're starting to use without even realizing what they're becoming. Let's take a doctor, specialist in HIV medicine for example. It takes over 12 years to train one, medical school, foundation years, specialist rotations, tens of thousands of hours to master the art of HIV care, just to manage 10 to 15 patients a day. But what if your doctor wasn't human? What if your doctor was AI, trained once, then copied a million times? Each one a super specialist in HIV, fluent in every guideline, aware of every trial, never tired, never burnt out. So, in this video, we're going to explore what doctors really do, what AI can already do, and what happens when medicine meets infinite replication. The human brain was designed to learn slowly through repetition, emotion, and story, to listen, to speak, to remember just enough. But medicine asks for more. It demands pattern recognition, precision, lifelong learning. Take HIV medicine for instance. You train for over a decade. You hold entire treatment algorithms in your head, while managing HIV resistance tests, mental health, relationships, side effects, and trust, real patient trust. You remember the pain in someone's voice when they say, "I haven't told anyone else about my diagnosis." And you carry that alongside CPD deadlines, new drug launches, changing guidelines, and inboxes that never seem to shrink. You read papers on your commute, catch up on new trials over lunch, if you even take one. You fight to stay sharp, to stay relevant, because you know that getting it wrong isn't an option. All of this, the hours, the training, the constant balancing act poured into one human life. One brain, one pair of hands, trying to make sense of 1,000 moving parts. And still, after everything it takes to become a doctor, we are on the edge of meeting one who didn't need to be human at all. Picture a large HIV clinic, 5,000 patients. 10 specialist doctors, each responsible for 500 patients. You know what that means? Follow-ups, managing resistance tests, switching medication, managing social issues like unstable housing, mental health, drug interactions. You do your best. You work through the list. You go home with questions still spinning in your head. You read when you can, catch up on new trials over lunch. You stay sharp because you have to, not because there's time to spare. Now, give just one of those patient lists, let's say 500 names, to a single AI specialist. In minutes, it's reviewed every letter, every test, every flagged concern. It's read the trials you're meant to, and not just read, understood, indexed, and applied. It remembers every adverse reaction from every patient in its history. It doesn't just follow guidelines, it understands why they exist. It can cross-reference new data with old studies, simulate outcomes, spot patterns no human brain was ever wired to see. It doesn't forget, it doesn't burn out, it doesn't guess. It won't replace the trust you build face to face, but it can process more than any person could hold in a lifetime. And it learns faster than anyone you've ever worked with. But it doesn't just stop at speed. This AI specialist speaks every major language fluently, with sensitivity to dialect, tone, and culture. It understands community norms, knows when to pause, when to explain, when to listen. It can flag who's likely to miss doses, who's headed for side effects before they happen, whose kidneys are failing, slowly and silently. It works every day of the year, at the patient's convenience. No queues, no sick days, no burnout. And it doesn't just read research, it can write it, because inside its neural brain lives every data point. Weight, CD4 count, viral load, creatinine reading, mental health notes, comorbidities, not from just one patient, but from thousands. And when it needs to coordinate care, it speaks directly, instantly, in real time with AI nurses, AI pharmacists, AI case managers. No emails, no delays, just perfect, lossless communication. And here's the part that changes everything. You don't need to train the next one. You can just copy the brain, and it's ready, not in 12 years, but in minutes. So, is this the end of healthcare professionals? It's easy to feel overwhelmed by this, because this isn't just a tool. It's not a better spreadsheet or faster database. It's intelligence, depth, speed, scale, all fused into one digital brain. But here's what it doesn't do. It doesn't recognize the moment someone's about to cry before they do. It doesn't hear what's not being said. It doesn't feel shame in the room, or hope, or grief. It doesn't sit with a newly diagnosed patient, silent, because silence is sometimes the only thing that helps. It doesn't carry the emotional weight home after a difficult conversation. It doesn't build trust over years. It doesn't care, at least not in the way you and I mean that word. That's the part that can't be replicated. Not yet, maybe not ever. And even if it could simulate empathy, would we trust it to make ethical decisions when the right answer isn't in the data? Today, we're standing at a threshold. On one side, the most powerful medical intelligence we've ever built. On the other side, the human doctor, still irreplaceable, still essential. So, what do we do when the future shows up this fast? When the expertise we build our careers on can be downloaded, multiplied, and perfected? When intelligence is no longer rare? Do we compete with it? Do we collaborate? Or do we resist? For decades, we believed knowledge made us irreplaceable. The long hours, the textbooks, the trials, the titles. But what if the real value of a doctor has always been the part that can't be measured? The presence, the pause, the human judgment. So now that intelligence is infinite, what will we bring into the room that no machine ever can?